My Own Garms.
Yes, my mates, what is happening with you lot? I'm Thomas Griffin, and this is My Own Garms. Back for Series 2 to bring you another ace bunch of people chatting about the clothes that they love. If this is your first time listening to My Own Garms, then you should defo subscribe. And if you like it, then send it to your busiest WhatsApp group and tell them lot to get on it too. Sound. Right, to kick off Series 2, we are sitting down with musician, performer and Camden legend Jimothy Lacoste. Jimothy makes soulful, DIY party pop music for cool kids. He plays with emotion, pop culture and fashion references in his music to make a sound that is distinctively London. I first heard him on his tune Getting Burberry Socks, where he talks about the feelings you feel when procuring a well-made English sock. It is mint. Go and listen to it. I'm buzzing to chat with him about his music and where his love of style and fashion come from. Right, let's do it. This is My Own Garms with Jimothy Lacoste. Jimothy, how you doing, man?
I'm so good, yeah.
How's your week been so far?
Good.
Hectic? Chill?
Nah, hectic and chill. Hectic and chill. If it's too chill, then it's like, what am I doing? There's nothing going on. If it's too hectic, I just get burnt out. So it's been sick. It's been like, yo, bare stuff is going on, yeah. And then it's been like, I'm just watching Instagram reels all day.
Poison in your mind?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Poison is good sometimes. Yeah.
So we did a little fit pick breakdown before where we talked through some of Jimothy's outfits that I picked out of his Instagram, but I think it's worth touching on this that you're wearing today.
Yeah.
We've got the Your Own Garms, your merch underneath, but the jacket, who's made that for you?
So my friend Jade, she made this custom leather jacket.
Big up Jade. So
Rife
sick.
and Stride.
All right.
If I'm getting the name wrong, we'll just put the real name.
We'll do it. We'll tag it.
We'll tag her. But yeah, she made this custom jacket, and then she made me a leather belt as well, a matching leather belt.
Same leather, so it's blue.
The same thing. Yeah. So
cut from the same blue cow.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, she uses real animal in it. Like,
I've seen a lot of leather jackets in my time, but this fabric, like, it's so thin but so rigid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because this looks real, isn't it? It's real leather, obviously.
Yeah.
But some real leather looks fake. Do you know what I mean? Because they're starting to like use more like sustainable leather or processing. Do you know what I mean?
And you can see almost the, like the imperfections that you were talking about, the grain of how the skin's moved on that. It's nuts.
Man. Yeah, for real.
And all the vegans are going to be turning off, aren't they? We're losing that audience.
I don't think I actually have any vegan fans anymore. Yeah.
How did you get rid of them?
I don't think they ever liked me, innit? You know what I mean? Specific personality types hear my music and they get it, they don't. It all relates. I've got vegetarian friend zone fans, I think, Yeah. If there's any vegan fans out there, let me know. Because I was actually gonna become a fruitarian, which is more intense than a vegan.
What's a fruitarian?
Only eat fruit. I was gonna try that out.
Nuts.
And that's even more intense and crazy than being a vegan.
What are the nutritional benefits of that supposed to be?
Well, I started like going deep on YouTube videos and basically like realizing, meat actually makes your body like hella acidic, and that's how cancer thrives. Like that is what happens. So then you balance it out with vegetables to make your body more alkaline. And then I was like, cool, I can do that. But then eating vegetables is long, and then it's like, I'll just eat fruit. And then there was these videos going on about how fruit gives you everything, the energy you need. I'm like, well, yeah, it's a real thing, fruitarian. I was going to try it out, and then I came to my senses.
Sounds like it made my stomach bubble, I think, if I ate fruit and nothing but.
Do you know what I mean?
Tell me about the workout regime, man, because I saw the pecs on Instagram the other day looking hella hench, mate.
Yeah.
Big gains.
Yeah. I only started properly doing it maybe 1 year ago. Yeah. I've always done the odd pull-ups twice a week. And I've always been toned, but I've never like kind of bulked up. So I've kind of bulked up recently. Workout routine is really simple. Like, I don't know, I weigh about like 80 kg. Is it kg?
That's like 11 and a half, 12 stone, I think.
Yeah. So I eat about 80, 90 grams of protein a day.
Okay.
And then a lot of carbs. I'm talking a lot. And then I'll aggressively fast.
Okay.
Like 24-hour fast once a week. But in those meals, in the 2 meals I have, if I even have 2 meals, I don't snack in between. 4 hours in between the meal, no calorie intake. But like, I just know I just want to be slim toned, have the Greek bod. You know what I mean?
Man.
Because you don't want to be over. If you overdo it and you're too big, it's like, dude, like you're not gonna look good in clothes
Looks
at
daft,
all.
doesn't it? And I think, that's what I was going to bring it back to, like the fact that clothes sit differently. I don't know whether it's because dudes that spend all the time at the gym don't have time to take in culture and art and fashion like that, but they dress like shit.
It's defo that. It's like 50% that and 50% clothes just no longer look like hang off of you. I put on this turtleneck the other day and I've been working chest and I looked horrible. Awful, like awful.
It needed to be flat and straight and chic kind of thing.
Literally, because it was a specific like turtleneck from Zara. It was like really sleek. And yeah, it looked horrible. And it was like, the clothes just don't sit on me as well now. So now I have to actually navigate a new style that's going to work well. Like what I'm wearing here, you can't even tell I'm muscly. So it's got to be like certain clothes where it's slim, you can see some muscle, but then like I balance it out with the trousers, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm now actually, that's my new challenge, bringing in a new style that suits me having muscle. Which is difficult.
So I know you like to have these routines and these schedules, and you like to stay productive and kind of moving forward all the time. And you're usually pretty busy on the socials, but you've been quite conspicuous in your absence, really. So where have you been? What have you been up to?
I had to get away from social media and music and the music business. So those three things combined were very extreme, and that then causes an extreme disappearance. Like, if it's just social media, I would have been doing music. If it was just music, I would have been on social media. But it was all three things combined. And it was because the social media stuff, like, it was making me feel really jealous, really envious of other people. People were jealous of me. So then I was confused, like, wow, so, like, I'm jealous of this person, that person's jealous of me. And I was like, this is a really horrible place. We're all comparing ourselves. Everyone does it, even Drake. Like the smallest person and the biggest, they're all doing it, right? And I thought, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a part of this toxic environment. And then the music business, I just made the wrong decisions with the wrong people. And I'm not going to say who, not managers, but I don't say names. I'm not that kind of guy. I don't gossip like that. But I'll say I made the wrong decisions that then made me not be able to do the music that I wanted to do. So then I thought to myself, right, I'm going to have to now sacrifice my career and purposely not drop anything for a while so I'm able to go back to, the stems and grow it again.
In a way that you feel is more authentically you.
Yeah, like just like the real me, which is me wanting to do what I want to do. If I have a vision, I want to be able to execute it and have the freedom to execute a music video idea and a beat and some lyrics. And if I don't have that, I'm not doing it. This is art we're talking, do you know what I mean? If I came into the music industry, like, I just want to be famous, I just want to make money. Then it's like, yeah, cool, like, I'll let a manager tell me what to do. Do you know what I mean? But, man, I didn't do it for that. So,
you did it for the art.
Yeah, and also I made a career from following my vision, so how can I then not follow my vision,
Yeah, man.
So I had to just take a whole huge break, and it was all getting very intense. The music industry... everything was getting so fake, and I just didn't want to be a part of it. So now me jumping back on it is refreshing to people's ears, like, oh, I miss this style,
So you feel like that break was kind of productive in that it's allowed you to reset, and now you're sitting on new tunes that are ready to roll out, yeah?
Exactly.
Where are you up to with that?
Yeah, so I'm in the studio constantly now. I'm constantly writing, like constantly planning music videos. It's really good. It's really exciting. It's like, have you ever played GTA 5?
Played 4 a lot. What happens on 5?
Like, when you end the whole game,
right,
and then you're like, what now?
Yeah.
So now I'm like resetting the game, and I'm like, yo, I'm doing it all over again, and that's fun. That's genuinely fun for me.
Buzzing, man.
Yeah.
I'm pleased to hear it.
Rep your ends.
You are from a place steeped in clothing, history and culture. Camden Town, right? You were born and raised there.
Yeah.
What did you see people wearing in your area when you were growing up, and how much of that rubbed off on you?
My first like experience seeing someone and going, yo, I need that, was defo primary school. And that was with like these feeler shoes. I forgot which ones they were, but all like the bad kids in my primary were wearing them, like all the naughty kids. And then I was like getting into that. So then I grabbed onto that, started wearing them. And I think that's what then kind of clicked. That's what made me go, I like wearing clothes. Because I think there's actually, we forget, like me and you probably forget that there are people in this world that genuinely don't like wearing clothes. They genuinely just want to just put on anything. So that obviously clicked me going, I genuinely like wearing certain things and clothes. But then the actual style started evolving when I was about 14. I was with my friend and his friend came down. And his friend was like 15 years older. So I knew him through like a subculture, right? But obviously it's a culture where like everyone is doing it. Let's say it's like football, you got kids in the field and you got adults and we're all doing it and we're all hustling, yeah.
Okay.
And basically he pulled up and I thought he was gonna look like a roadman. I thought, because this guy was the big guy in the area, and he pulled up with like, just like, back in the day, like skinny jeans was not a thing in terms of like people weren't wearing skinny jeans and gazelles. And when I mean skinny, I'm not talking the skinny that are like tight. I'm like just like fitted. And he had like gazelles on and like a nice like fitted like North Face. And I was like, what?
Look classy.
Yeah. And I was like, what? So then I started like really, when he was dressed really smart as well. And then he had a website. I was always on his website. His website was TIMC. It was like lifestyle. And then he started dressing really smart, and I thought, I need to start dressing smart. So what happened was, as soon as I started dressing, started to like say to my mum, oh, mum, like, can you get me this? Can you get me that? My sister, Rhapsody, noticed that. And my sister was big in fashion.
Big sister?
Yeah, she always knew about style and clothing. So she noticed that and went, oh, my little brother's getting into clothes. Let me put him on. Yeah. So then, boom, she started putting me on.
Every big sister's dream, that, I think.
Yeah. Like, it was crazy. So then it's like, I'm into Burberry. She's like, yeah, I can get you a Burberry like shirt on eBay. I'm like, yeah, cool. She got me that. And then it was more like seeing photos from the 70s when I was younger and going, oh yeah, like, these people always had stuff tucked in. Do you know what I mean? In Camden, the kids that were dressed in like wavy, that like I was because at first I was the only guy that was dressing when I was 15. And then 16, 17, started getting more introduced. And I was like, oh, sick, I'm not the only one. Like at the time, I was happy that other people weren't dressing sick. And it was Camden School for Girls. Yeah, this school. And every time I went past it, I was like 15, 16, I'm like, all these kids are dressed wavy. Like, all the girls were dressed wavy. Like, back then, guys did not know how to dress. They did not know how to dress. They all were trying to do the roadman thing. So only the girls were, like, having these scarves, having, like, a vintage coat with some fur on and, like, a bit of flares and, like, the dirty Air Forces, which I know people don't like, but I rated it. I rated the dirty Air Force, you know. It's like the posh white girl, like, drip thing. And I was like, wow, this is going mad. So then I started hanging out with them, and I was still beating them all the time at every party. I was still always the best dressed every time. But now I'll pull up to a party and I've got to think now. Now I'll be like, hang on, this is getting done. This is getting done. Now I've got to like, you got to give me a year to really think how to create a new style. They made me competitive, was what I'm trying to say.
That's what I was going to say, man. Do you think that the area that you came from gave you this competitive spirit that's still with you today?
Yeah.
That kind of like striving for one-upsmanship, you know, seeing someone else wearing something that is as cool as you and having to go one better.
100%. When you go to a party or a house party and it's just you and two other people that are like dressed, that like know about fashion, it's more like, oh, like, first of all, back then it was like, oh, you're now my bestie because you now get it. But then it was also like, oh, now I'm really motivated to like go vintage shopping tomorrow because this guy pulled up with this scarf and I didn't know about scarves. It's like there'll be a new thing like, oh, turtlenecks. Oh, what? I don't know about turtlenecks. That looks sick. And then they'll be like, oh, I didn't know about dad hats. I'll get a dad hat. Like there'll be like each year there'll be something new.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They'll pop up for everyone to then go out and get and try and make it their own and get colours and get the better hat. Like, oh, he's got a dad hat, but he's got that design on a dad hat. Like, how's, you know what I mean? Like simple things like dad hats, you know, and like scarves. I always got a Burberry scarf, you know.
And you live up that way still now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
Camden-ish.
definitely more like relaxed now. Like now, I'll try and do the whole like tech outfit thing at home, like the North Face fleece,
Yeah.
with like the on shoes.
Yeah.
And you can't really get what I'm on. Like people see me in the street and go, "This guy's not a fashion head," but then they'll go, "But he also doesn't look basic."
Okay.
But like at a party, I would definitely like try act up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What was the kind of age that you were allowed to leave your local environs of Camden and explore London more as a whole? And what kind of things did you see when you were coming in to say, I don't know, Soho, or where was it in London that you first kind of saw your fashion horizons open out a little bit further?
Maybe honestly, like Selhurst, which is like deep south. Yeah.
Okay.
But I only say that because I then made new friends at 16 that lived there. So then I started going house parties in Clapham Junction and West Croydon and all these random places. And then I started seeing South London outfits, which was a bit more skater baggy,
Okay.
like, you know, which was like basically what everyone's doing now. They were doing it a while ago. Definitely, yeah. So that definitely winded me like, oh yeah, like, oh, this is going on, you know? Yeah, that's what made me go, oh, there's other like styles going on.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean?
You know, I come down to London every now and again to do something like this, a bit of recording, and I always go home feeling kind of stylistically reinvigorated by the city. Just the breadth of subcultures and the breadth of people try more down here.
Yeah.
Is getting about the city something that excites you style-wise? Do you like people watching? Do you like looking at what people are wearing on the tube, that kind of thing?
I only started liking that again after my music break.
Okay.
So, dude, like, you got to think, when you're in the middle of all of it, you're not getting on public transport. You're not going house parties. You're not really going to, like, events. You're stuck at home working, or you're just going on tour. It's impossible to get inspired. It's impossible to be a normal person in society and see what's going on. Now I'm getting on public transport again and actually, like, you know, going to the local pub, saying yo to people, going to a house party. I'm seeing like, oh, I'm falling in love with clothes again because I'm seeing that, oh yeah, like I'm getting competitive again. I'm seeing new styles arising from the average person, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So just being on the train the other day, there was this girl wearing cat trainers. Cat is like, you know, cat like...
Construction boot
yeah,
style.
construction boots. But Cat created trainers that look like these Prada shoes, isn't it? Like the Prada shoes with the Velcro, which are difficult to get. I think they're called like Cloud Busts or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I saw that and I went, raw, I need to get them. I didn't even ended up getting them. They're all sold out. But then I went back home going like, oh, now I know where I got all my inspiration from. Like being a normal person in society and seeing people like what they're wearing. Like you think fashion, like you think places like Burberry and Drake, not Drake, but like, you know, famous people
Right.
and like fashion houses come up with styles out of nowhere. They look at the average person of society and see like even homeless people. They look at like, oh look, this person is doing this that they don't know. We're gonna take that and put Burberry on it or like put Gucci on it. Like styles and new styles arise from the average common person. It never comes from a celebrity.
Yeah, real life is where the magic happens, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally.
man. You got to get out there and experience that.
Literally.
A few times in this little chat you've referenced your mum looking out for you, and in a lot of your music and your YouTube videos, I watch a bunch of your blogs, like you mentioned your mum. How much of an influence did she have on what you wore as a kid and a teenager? Is she a sharp dresser?
She's a sharp dresser, but like she's questionable. She's Spanish.
Okay.
Like Spanish people like can struggle having good taste in clothing. Do you know what I mean?
Man, everyone's getting it in this interview.
Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean?
I do. Go on.
But like she's I think I don't know my dad, but I know for a fact that my dad was definitely more you gotta get this and match it with that. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean? My mum's more like she'll wear what's nice, but she always tells me what does look good on me when I wear it.
I mean, yeah.
And she's always right. Like she'll always go, yeah, that looks good. No, that looks a bit. Like the other day I put on this red varsity jacket and these nice wide trousers with like a red stripe on the bottom and the side. And I put it on and everything was perfect, but the red strip was like bugging me out a bit. And I'm like, I think it's clashing too much. I think there's a bit too much colours going on. And she said it straight away and I was like, I knew it. And she's like, sometimes you need someone that confirms these little thoughts you've got.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You trust her aesthetically.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And the trousers were fine, but I would have been fine with a black varsity jacket rather than red, like, because then there was just too much colour going on for sure. But yeah, she pointed it out, yeah.
Nice, man. Shout out Mumsy.
Yeah, shout out mum, you know.
You referenced you kind of being on tour and going around the country. Other places that you've visited, could be in other countries, could be other areas of England. Where have you been and been excited by how people dress there?
I want to say when I went to Hong Kong, there were so many old people. I've never seen anything like it. There's bare old people just in the streets. Old people know how to dress. And it's not that they know how to dress, it's that like the clothes that they bought, because they're clearly wearing clothes from years ago.
Yeah.
It's just really vintage like pieces that they're wearing. That's where I basically found out the whole proportion thing of clothing. And like you wear what you have to wear proportional clothes depending on like what your torso is and your leg length. Because a lot of them are short and I'm short. And I realized like if you're a short person, you have to wear clothes that make you look tall. And that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
Because when I see other short people, I look at that wear clothes, I look at them and go, yeah, you look awful in clothes. But then I thought, oh, but I'm the only one that doesn't. What's going on? Like, am I just being egotistic? But then when I went there in Bangkok, everyone there, all the short old guys look sick in clothes. It's because they're all wearing clothes that are that have the right proportions. Like they wouldn't just buy trousers and walk out on the street because it's too big. So they have to get it tailored at least, you know?
So for all the short kings out there, what are the tips that you picked up from the Hong Kong crew? Like
you got to clock, what your style is first of all. Are you baggy? Are you slim fit? And then you gotta just basically, you can't just buy it and then come out the shop. You either need to like tailor it or buy something that a brand usually like for example, like everything in Prada's too big. Do you know what I mean? Everything in Zara's too big. You need to kind of know which brands are gonna usually fit you, and then maybe even go off and tailor half of like 80% of your trousers for sure.
have you got a good tailor? Have you got someone that you trust to go?
My mum, she
got the skills.
She tailors my trousers, yeah.
Sick. Imagine having that on tap. Like,
Yeah.
I just bought a new suit on Vinted last week, Nunushka camel thing, and I've taken the trousers in to be hemmed and widened a little bit at the bottom. They're a little bit too, but I've taken it to these people I've not taken it to before. And I'm going picking them up on Friday, and I'm deeply, deeply concerned.
Should be fine, man. Like, it's actually pretty simple. If my mom can do it, you should be all right.
All right.
Like, she complains a lot before doing it, like it's long, but she gets it done in 10 minutes. I remember using a random tailor as well in Crouch Hill, and they did a pretty good job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sick. Can't wait to get them back now, then.
Yeah, you'll be good.
That's not me.
Was there ever a period in your life that you look back on? You know, before maybe you had these formative experiences at high school and seeing the girls at Camden Girls' School. Was there a time you look back on and think, what the fuck was I playing out there?
The football tracksuit bottoms,
Okay.
but I still wear them when I go running.
Okay.
But I was wearing them in a way where like, yeah, this looks sick. but I can see myself going back to that, you know what I mean? But I was definitely like, I'm looking back at those photos going like, yeah, no, that wasn't it, you know?
Are we talking in a particular team? Are we talking one that you'd use
Oh,
for
no,
training?
no.
Like
Just like training, innit?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, the training, like the skinny...
Umbro ones
like,
and stuff?
Nah, like Adidas.
Okay.
Like the really skinny ones. But then I would wear it with like a Gucci pouch.
Okay.
Yeah, but like a woman's like purse. Like, do you know what I mean?
Even the times when you weren't being fashionable, you were low-key dripping, you know?
Yeah, like I was still experimenting for sure.
Yeah.
You know? But like I still wear them to like go running for sure. Yeah.
And take me back to this 10-year-old Jimothy, the Roadman fit. What were we rocking then?
That I was definitely like, what? So I was just like, you know, like big, oversized North Face, like jacket, hoodie, and like Nike tracksuit bottoms.
All black everything?
But it was like grey Nike tracksuit bottoms with like Air Max.
95s, 97s, TNs.
Whatever my mum got me in Sports
Yeah.
Direct. I can't remember. I can't remember, you know. I reckon TNs.
Okay.
I reckon they were TNs.
That is the archetypal Roadman.
Yeah,
Nike Air Max model,
yeah.
innit?
Yeah.
I just got my first pair yesterday
Is it?
at 38. That's nuts, isn't it?
Mate, I got my first pair of Nike in 2022.
Okay, so why the more recent love affair with Nike? What switched?
So the reason why I didn't like Nike when I started discovering fashion, so 15 years old, all the way till like 19 years old, is because Nike was very, very popular. And again, I'm trying to stand out. So I liked the Nike Cortez, but no one was rocking Sambas. Like I would still like Nike Cortez was in like the Forrest Gump movie. Like it was still kind of popping. Now no one really rocks Nike Cortez, so now I'm actually going to go back to them.
Interesting shoe, innit? I think it's big in kind of like Latino communities. I think a lot of the kind of like West Coast cholo gangster dudes love a Cortez in that classic white red colorway.
And this is the thing, like that with like some like nice like flary jeans, bootcut jeans will look fire, you know. But yeah, like
bring it back, man. You can do it.
Yeah, but also like just Nike in general was associated with all the cunt like all like the dickish guys that would pull up to a house party thinking they were roadmen even though they were rich kids. Okay. So I was like, I don't want to be a part of Nike at all. All the Adidas kids were like the humble like humble like, you know, I like school like nerdy kids.
Okay.
Because even though like I was awful in school, I've always gotten along with nerds. Not like the whole bad man, I'm a bad man because I've done this in life, you know. But now I'm defo into Nike. Like I now get why people like Nike. You know, like Kanye said this thing, and I'm not gonna say I got into Nike because Kanye said it, but it made me think. And he said, no one in Adidas gets bitches, and no one that wears Adidas gets bitches. And I was like, that's funny. Like that's funny because me personally, all the friends that I have that get girls, they don't wear Adidas.
Okay.
Like, all of them.
Mad
And I was like, he was making me think more in like a philosophical way. And then obviously like, I started thinking, man, like it's, you know, he's got a good point, you know?
No, it's not. I mean, that's not true, man.
Yeah, like,
I don't want people that wear Adidas.
I mean, I'm still wearing Adidas. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm still wearing it for sure, you know?
Yeah.
But there's something about Nike, like, Nike makes you look a bit more like Adidas is like, hey, I'm the nice guy.
Yeah.
Nike is like, yo, what's up?
Yeah.
You know?
I feel that, and I feel
I didn't like that when I was younger. I hated that. Like, I'm trying to look cool in not a cool way.
Okay.
You know? But now it's like I need to go running, and I like the tight Essex, like Nike tops.
Okay.
Fuck with it.
Now you've got the bod, man.
Yeah, now I've got the bod. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
I had a strange relationship with Nike in that I always felt like it was a kind of notch above what I deserved almost. And I was wearing Reebok and Adidas, and I probably felt the same way in that they were a more humble thing, and that Nike were for another type of person for me. But then when I got Air Max, I had Nikes when I was little in that, but when I got Air Max again, I felt really special in them. And then I learned to like that.
Yeah.
It's weird. And it's all the brand storytelling that's done it to us, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
you know, the big American powerhouse that is Nike, special, exotic, from the other side of the pond, like another world. And we find ourselves seduced by that a bit, I think.
I definitely wasn't. Nike was like the most popular. It was like if you weren't wearing Nike, you were not cool.
Yeah.
You know, like now you can wear Adidas, you're fine. You're not gonna be like cussed by the cool kids. 2015, 16, if you weren't wearing any Nike, it's not that people didn't think you were cool, you were not. It was more like, oh, he doesn't get it. Like, he's not wearing Nike, he doesn't get it, you know, even though I did get it.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's
you
what
got
I
it.
liked.
You got it too much. Like you knew
Yeah.
the whole story.
Yeah.
So we touched on trainers a little bit there, but I know that the footwear rotation goes a little bit deeper than that for you. Obviously, you're in the horse bits today. Shout out GH Bass, the Weegian crew.
Yeah.
How do the different shoes that you wear affect how you feel?
Oh, that's a good question. When I'm wearing loafers, I feel sophisticated. Like I can be wearing a North Face fleece with loafers, and already like I walk down the street or into a cafe a bit more like, you know, hey, don't like, by the way, like I know what I'm doing, you know, I'm like sophisticated. If I'm wearing trainers, like, depends what brand. See, trainers is complicated, dude, because you can wear loafers, you can wear boots, like you can wear kickers, you can wear wallabies, and I'll feel the same from all of them. I feel like I look sophisticated and people respect me in society. But with certain trainers, it's different for all of it. It's different for, if I'm wearing Asics and I've got my shorts on and I'm running, it's like, oh, this guy's like the guy that runs but knows about fashion, you know. If I'm wearing Asics but I'm wearing it with an outfit, it's like, oh, I feel a bit confused even, because then it's like Asics are quite bait now. So it's like, oh, do I look basic right now because I'm wearing Asics, you know? So I get more confusion with trainers nowadays. But with loafers, it's more like, this is how I look, this is how I feel. I feel sophisticated. Trainers now, it's like, I feel confused. You know what I mean? Am I standing out? Am I not? If I'm wearing American Prada cups, 4 years ago, I was standing out. Oh my God. Now it's like everyone's got Prada cups.
That's a mad trainer to me. I've seen loads of cool kids wearing it, and I know if I wore that, I would not feel comfortable moving in the places that I move. Like,
Why though? Why? Yeah.
Because it just looks like the trainer that you would have taken the piss out of the other kids for wearing at school. You know, it's got Velcro on. Can you not tie your laces? Come on.
Yeah. See, they're the ones I like. The cups with the Velcro, which are really difficult to get. They're the ones that I love. Yeah.
Okay.
And I went in and I asked if it had it. They didn't have it. I've only got the ones with laces, and I personally feel like those shoes with laces look whack.
Yeah.
I've got 3-4 pairs of them. They look whack. I've got them because I like them and they're nice enough. But if they had the Velcro, it's like perfect. Like if you know Stan Smiths with the Velcro, if they just took that one off, it would look sick. But they got that 3. You got 3 Velcro strips on it. It's like you've ruined the shoe. But yeah, it makes you look like a kid. It makes you look like a kid.
Big toddler, yeah.
Yeah, like a kid. You know what I mean? Special class. Like, I love that look.
Yeah.
I love that look.
I saw a picture of you in kickers, I think, and the kickers that are kind of a rounded-ish toe, but then with the kind of the sewing round to convey the idea of a moccasin.
Yeah.
You know the ones I mean?
Yeah, like yeah.
Yeah, a classic kicker. Anyway, that would make me feel very different to a loafer or a mule. I think you mentioned walking somewhere in a shoe like that, and I do think that when I put a loafer on that I move differently. And I really enjoy clothes that make you do that make you carry yourself maybe, you know, it might be a top that makes you feel like you can run quick. It might be a jacket that makes you swish a little bit more flamboyantly. It might be a shoe that makes you think about where you're putting your foot a bit more precisely.
Yeah.
I find that a really interesting element of clothes, I think.
Well, those kickers are really heavy.
Okay.
They're annoying to wear. Like, if I'm walking down the street with them, I'm getting tired. But yeah, the feeling I get from them is, sophistication, but also like innocent nerdy kid. because they're very like schoolboy.
Yeah, for
They're
real.
super schoolboy. Like these are still like, oh yeah, like fashiony, like you know, these are like classy. But those are definitely like school kid shoes,
Yeah.
which I feel more like I'm innocent look.
Yeah. Do you like to tap into that? Does it make you feel happy, like in a nostalgic way?
Depends what I'm doing in life. Depends how successful I am or like unsuccessful. If I'm making money, if I'm not, if things are up and down, I'll wear certain outfits.
Okay.
Like if I'm like making a lot of money, I don't like to look sophisticated.
Interesting.
You know, if I'm making not much money, I love to look sophisticated.
Mad.
Like all these people, these billionaires ain't wearing this because they're doing it because they're getting an ego out of it. It's like, it's powerful you going, I've got this much money and I'm not going to get this. Like that in itself feels better than wearing it.
Okay.
You know, same thing with like, I don't even know how to make this much money in a month, but I'm still able to like look like this. That is more powerful. So it's like same thing with both, you know. Yeah.
Top 3 selected.
So I know that personal betterment is a big thing for you, and being productive and creative is something you actively work hard on. You put steps in place to achieve these goals. Can you give us top 3 tips on how you can dress to be the best and most exciting version of yourself?
First of all, you need to want to do it. You know, like you can't force it. Like there's many times that you're gonna want to wear things, but you're not gonna want to wear things, if that makes sense. You know, you're gonna want to like look nice, but you're not gonna like put it on and actually like rock it. You can put something on and go out in the street and go, I'm a bit shy. Do you know what I mean? Like you need to kind of get over that bit to really like find your style.
Okay.
If we're talking about like you walking out in the street and people go like, yo, like this guy's like doing something else, which is very difficult to do because like you're basically then being a pioneer to generations. You have to be so confident in putting something that you know you might look a bit ridiculous, like walking out in the street with. So you need to put clothes on and go, I look the shit, and just leave.
Wear it with your chest kind of thing.
Yeah, wear it with your chest and like be careful where you take inspiration from.
Okay.
You want to take inspiration from, like, for example, a lot of the clothing hype right now is being inspired by the homeless, you know. Like
Okay.
a lot of Balenciaga is from homeless. You kind of need to do what these brands do. You need to get inspiration from stuff that no one knows. It's like the stock market. You make money if you get a stock that like no one is really buying and then everyone buys.
Okay.
If you're late to it, then you know. So you want to do that with fashion. It's like you need to go to different countries. Maybe you see like an old person. For me, it was old people that were wearing certain things and no one else is realizing that they looked sick. You know, like corduroys and like slightly baggy stuff. And then like, you know, like now everyone's doing that, you know.
Nice, man. So wear things confidently, look for inspiration in places that other people aren't looking
That
for.
other people are looking for. And the biggest thing is actually then getting the clothes. That's difficult because I would say vintage shopping is very difficult depending on your height. If you're my height, it's basically there's no point.
Okay.
Everything is large and medium there. Like you're gonna just come out and if you're trying to do like oversized baggy and you're my height, perfect. But if you're not and you want certain things to be fitted, vintage shopping's a waste of time. You need to vintage shop online.
Okay.
And go specific and you know, on Depop say only small, only medium.
Yeah.
And do the research, see something you like and quickly try find it. And also like don't be afraid of like getting something that's similar. Like if you see like a Prada jacket that has a specific fit and you want that but you can't afford it, what you then simply have to do is find something similar. I mean, you find something similar by like going on Uniqlo, going on Zara, you know, like, oh, I like this windbreaker that Prada did. Like, let's say there's a windbreaker they did with a metal zip and not many windbreakers have a metal zip. Like, that's really difficult. Well, then you kind of have to type that in and maybe find a random website that like looks really cheap. Don't be scared, just get it because people will tell like, oh, you put the work in to look different.
Yeah. Nice, man.
Yeah.
Top tips. Are you on the vintage hype? Are you on that app?
I'm not on it yet, but I've heard like
Mate, it is
you're
wild
getting
on
you
there.
can get some crazy stuff.
Nuts stuff. And it's really like gamified, and it kind of, you know, like eBay says, congratulations, you've won this, when you've actually just paid £100 for something. You shouldn't be congratulated at all. You've just spent a load of money that you didn't need to spend. But
Yeah.
Vinted gamifies it. There's the whole bartering. Can I get this for a low ball offer? Someone comes back with a counter offer. It's all really like fun to do.
Yeah.
But I've got some mad stuff on there, man. Yeah.
What did you get?
I got a full Goldwyn Japanese like skiing outfit. So full Gore-Tex trousers, orange Gore-Tex top, £70 for the whole thing. And this is like
skiing outfit,
500 and 600. Yeah, to go skiing in.
Yeah,
like
sick.
500 or 600 quid's worth of gear, man, for like next to nothing. I just really didn't think it'd come off, but
this
recently,
is what I mean. You can't find like Depop would be hard because maybe the demographic aren't like selling skiing stuff like that. You know?
Yeah.
Vinted. Yeah, I should check that out.
Do it, man. Vinted, get in touch. I want you to sponsor this podcast, please.
Sponsor him.
Tell me about Liqueur as a slogan, because it's on your top today and it's a message that appears on a lot of your output, your merchandise. Do you think it's an important motto to project?
Yeah. So first of all, thank you for knowing how to pronounce it.
Okay.
So I respect you.
What have you had in the past?
Leak.
Yeah.
Leak. You know, lidge. I mean, loads of stuff, like just random stuff.
Ugly words. Liqueur sounds. It's amazing to say.
But it's simply like putting in work. I've said it in so many songs, like, you know, like if you just do the research, you'll hear it.
Yeah. Break it down.
Break
it down for the people that don't know. So it stands for...
So it stands for life is getting quite exciting. And it's very simple. When your life is getting exciting, that's when your life has meaning, because it's like your dopamine is getting set off. Oh, I'm excited to do this. I'm looking forward to doing something. And it all came from when I was younger, and I simply started putting things on my calendar, started eating healthy, started working out, started putting nice clothes on, started being social, started having hobbies, and I realised life is getting quite exciting. And then I realised, oh, just like put things in your schedule that you're going to be excited to do. Just have an active life, you know. Don't do the same thing every day.
Just give yourself goals, plan for the future, look forward to things. And it looks sick on the clothes, man. And I think that because it is such a odd arrangement of letters, like people are going to ask you about it. What is Liqueur? What is this thing? And then you get to kind of talk to people about it, or maybe this person that's bought a piece of merch from you, someone will ask them about it and they can say, well, it's life is getting quite exciting. It means this to me. It means this to Jimothy. It can mean this to you, man. It's a sick slogan, man.
Dude, it can mean so much. It can be so much to the guy that like does ket every Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, mate, I'm doing so much ket. We just bought like 5 grams. Life is getting quite exciting. I've had that. I've had fans like send me photos like that. And then it could be like the person that jogs every morning. Eats healthy meals, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Doesn't touch anything. It's like life is getting quite exciting.
What pieces of merch have you put the slogan on? Obviously, we've got the prototype jumper that you're rocking today.
Yeah.
I've seen it on corduroy caps, is it?
Corduroy caps, they've all sold out.
They're sick, man.
And I'm doing everything myself now. Like before, it was just t-shirts.
Okay.
And it was all made to order when I was like 18.
So you didn't actually ever see the products, really? It wasn't passing through your hands?
No. And now it's like me designing everything, like me and my friend, like he does the Photoshop stuff, but I find the designs, I then change it, I tweak it.
Yeah. And for someone that obviously loves clothes like you do, getting to see what it is that you're selling to fans is important. Man.
So basically, I've had 2 samples of these now, and then I've now started working on another jumper that's going to be better, and I'm on the 3rd sample on that, and I'm now waiting for a 4th sample. Like, this is fun. Even though it's long in its money, it's like seeing it and seeing that, seeing it getting better, getting and touching it. It's like, wow, this is real. This is product, you know.
Yeah. And it'll be something that you have had such an effect on. It'll have your energy baked into it, and it'll be something you're proud to sell. You can say to your fans, like, this is actually sick. You know, I'm not advertising it as, oh, this is sick, you should buy it. I know this is sick, and that comes across, I think.
100%. people see the small details, and that's what I'm trying to do. Like with this here, this is a sample, and this is jacquard knitted. So like the actual color is also knitted on, so it's not embroidery. I'm still new to it, so I might be saying it wrong, but yeah, it's jacquard, and like you can still see it. You can still see the stitching on the outside. Now I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to make bulk. I'm now got to do more samples. So it's like doing the small things. I'll wear the sample, because I think it looks good enough for me to wear it, but not good enough for the customers.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it needs to be perfect for them.
I know that blue's going to get my eyes popping as well.
Exactly. You got the blue eyes, man. That's like the recipe for getting girls, blue eyes.
What if you've got blue eyes but you're wearing Adidas trainers? What happens on the...
You have to ask Kanye. You have to ask Kanye.
Tell me about the name Jimothy Lacoste, because we touched on it briefly in the bonus section when we talked about the tracksuit, but the brand comes up so much in My Own Garms. The young designer we had on before mentioned it as her first experience of tracksuits. The first guy we ever had on mentioned it as his kind of first brand that he ever fell in love with, and it seems to have such a hold on people, despite not being the biggest of the brands. But where were you in life when you adopted Jimothy and Lacoste as a moniker, and what's your relationship with Lacoste like today?
I adopted the name Jimothy from having fake Facebook names in my life. And then the Lacoste came from knowing, people that I looked up to when I was younger, and they were always wearing Lacoste. So then my friend from Turnpike Lane was like, that should be your MC name, Jimothy Lacoste. And I was like, yeah, sure, that's a good point, So then I started doing music, and in my first music video, I put Jimothy Lacoste in it. But now I've actually changed the meaning of Lacoste. Like, obviously, Jimothy Lacoste is very similar to, like, when Gucci Mane has the name Gucci in front, and Polo G, like, they clearly loved that brand. But now I've changed the meaning, and it's simply Lacoste is now a crocodile, which is obviously the brand, but it's simply a crocodile because I'm like a crocodile. I've got thick skin. Thick skin is like, no matter what happens to me in life, I confirm it.
Resilient.
I confirm it.
I love it when names can develop like that and develop different meanings, and you get like back acronyms out of it. Like, KRS-One, the rapper.
Yeah.
Did Sound of the Police and that.
Yeah.
Tune. He's got a load of, he's called KRS-One, but then like he's got lots of different things that KRS-One can stand for. Knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone is one of them that I always remember. And it's cool when you've got flexibility to kind of maneuver within your own name, your own artistic moniker, I think. But how old were you when you first started, adopted that as an MC name?
Yeah, 16.
16, okay. 16. So it's been around with you for a fair few years.
And obviously Jimothy, I picked Jimothy specifically because who the hell is named Jimothy? I've always thought there's Jim, there's Jimmy, there's Tim, there's Timmy. Then Timmy means Timothy.
Yeah.
But then Jim and Jimmy don't mean Jimothy. So then I thought, I'm taking that.
And it's catchy.
And then the Office did it, I swear. I'm pretty sure the Office. Yeah. They called someone Jimothy, and there was like an episode about it.
I hope they've paid you your royalties.
Welcome to my business. No one knows what's going on,
We can't talk about fashion without referencing your tune, Fashion, which came out in 2018, 5 years ago, nearly 6 years ago. There's a few bits that I wanted to pick out from here. So the lyrics, dressing like a rich guy, looking hella smart, having good style is a big form of art.
Dressing like a rich guy, feeling hella smart. That came from me, like, not being the rich guy when I was younger.
Dressing aspirationally, kind of.
Yeah, like, you need to, like, do your best in life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you need to show up. You need to, like, look good.
Yeah.
And, big form of art being a big, like, fashion being art, it's an art, because what art is, realistically, it's you creating. The only reason a paintbrush is involved is because it's the quickest way to quickly create something. Because I used to think that art was only paints.
Yeah.
And I used to say, these sculptures ain't art. And then I thought, hang on, I got older and more mature, and I'm still immature, I'm getting more mature. And then I realised, art is simply creating things. So you saying I'm gonna put these trousers together with this and that, you're creating a style. And that's a form of art.
Yeah,
like
man.
that's 100% a form of art.
Human creation is just a different medium, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice, man. And the second little bit is feeling hella clean, getting respect, security guard in the shop never checked. So I guess what I was trying to kind of pick out here is that if you dress in a certain way, you know, maybe the 10, 12-year-old Jimothy would have been stopped by the security guard going into a shop. If you're dressing in a certain way, that's not going to happen, right?
That ain't happening now, you know, like I used to like, you know, like go into shops and like nick sweets. Do you know what I mean? And then I started just dressing smart, and then they wouldn't ever catch me nicking sweets.
Get all the sweets you want.
Get all the sweets you want. Do you know what I mean?
Top tip out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, put a tie on. No one's asking questions.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Next hype.
You're a young guy who's always dressed aspirationally, as we just mentioned. Do you think if you made 100 million quid, then you would start dressing a bit more low key?
It's interesting because I said earlier, when you've got the money,
Yeah.
it's the ego wants you to then lower yourself.
But that was not referring to you specifically. I think you might be a slightly different character to that.
I think I would then honestly be the best dressed person in London. Like I would pull up to every single party and everyone would be like, where did you get that? Where did you get that? That's not fair. That's not
Because you
fair.
just
That's
had the
not fair.
time and the economic resources to live your dreams, live your fashion
What do you
dreams.
say, 100 million?
100 million, that's life-changing.
So
sum.
100 million, I would be making my own clothes. I would be making my own clothes and I'd be pulling up and like, if Gucci make a jacket that I can't afford, I'll make it myself. I'm not buying a Gucci jacket. Like I'll just make it myself and I'll make it even better. I'll never copy, I'll make it better. Because copying is making a blue jacket and seeing a blue jacket and making it blue. Making it yourself is like making like half of it blue and then half white. It's inspiration, it's different. I'll just be going up and I'll be going parties and people look at me like, what? Yeah, like it would be different. Making my own loafers. Because when you make your own clothes, then you can never then be compared to anyone. I'll be uncomparable. So yeah, I'll go crazy with the clothes for sure. It wouldn't change. The only thing that would change is I'd look better for sure.
Yeah.
And my hair would change. I want to change my hair. I've had this hairstyle for ages. I'd probably have the money to like do some craziness, like do some like long curls, because I can't do long curls because I've got like real black man nappy hair.
Yeah.
So I could do like some crazy like go salon and spend mad money to look mad. Like it would be crazy. But
What's on the mood board? What's on the hair mood board at the moment? I know you said you've had that for a long time. I think it looks so sick, man. But like,
yeah,
I know the feeling when you feel like your time to move on. What are you thinking?
I would love just like long curls, man.
Yeah.
Long curls.
Yeah.
Kind of like yours, isn't it? I mean, like just long curls.
Just a few
more
less
frizzy.
greys, right?
Yeah. Like just more long curls, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Would that be a lot of upkeep? Would you have to go very regularly to get that?
Once a week. I get this done once a week anyway,
Yeah.
and you know, it's kind of long. Do you know what I mean? But also, I'd have mad cars. I'd have like beautiful cars and stuff. You know.
Park them where you wanted.
Yeah, like obviously, the car will complement the outfit. You know, that's a huge thing as well.
Okay.
You know, that's like the ultimate flex, because if anyone can dress sick, but then the guy that dresses sick that also has a car that suits his style, come on, man, that's it. He's completed it. Like,
Doesn't sound like this 100 million quid's going to last very long in your back pocket.
Nah,
I
it
think
will.
it's spent in a year.
Because I'll have that money and then like put like, I don't know, like let's say 60 million in my like music,
Yeah.
and then that will then make me more, and then I've got like that income making me more, and the rest to like look fly.
Yeah, man.
Like 18-year-old me would have like probably like, I don't know, spent 50% of it, and I was, you know, I'm still a saver since day, but yeah, I would have spent 50. Now I'm spending like 20% of that. 100 mil, 20% easily. Even 10, you ain't got to spend that much money to like, you know,
Enjoy yourself.
enjoy yourself.
For real, man. We mentioned the sweater in the bonus section, and we've talked about it a little bit on the podcast, but have you got anything exciting coming out soon, or are there any exciting ideas that you would like to put into production with the kind of clothing line, the sweatshirts, the liqueur line?
Yeah, so a new corduroy hat is coming out now, and it's going to be a dark brown.
Yeah, I think I saw you deliberating over the colour of it on one of the blogs on
Yeah,
Insta.
yeah. The one of the vlogs slash documentations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, it's long. It's long. Like they messed up. I messed up the color. I picked the wrong color.
They look so different in different lights and in different photos and on different screens.
It's very confusing, right? So
yeah.
now what they've done is, I've done 2 hats now. I've done one in like a really burgundy red, which I thought was going to be a dark brown, which is not. And then I did a brown that's like a bit too light. And then out of nowhere, she shows me the color card, and now like magically has appeared like the perfect dark brown. And I'm like, why was that not there ages ago? Anyway, she always made a mistake. It's fine. Everyone makes mistakes. She's now sending me that. So now I'm seeing the color cards in person in like a few days, and I'll be able to pick. But that's going to be exciting. That's going to be a sick hat. I can't wait for that to drop. But then like future things, I'd love to do like coats, you know.
What we're talking, favourite coats for you? I've seen a lot of puffer jackets, Burberry puffer jackets. I know Burberry are known predominantly for their originally for their trench coats and things like that. Is there a particular style of coat that you'd like to put out there?
You know those like wool coats,
Okay.
those woolly coats.
Big, like Crombie.
Yeah, but like more in like a puffer version.
Okay.
You know, just like something like that I always thought, what the hell, why are they not making it?
Yeah.
You know, also I would want to make puffers, you know. It's pretty basic, but I'm from London, it's cold. I'm gonna be making a puffer, you know.
Nice,
and
man.
it's gonna be sick because I'll try and incorporate a bunch of things in it. You know, maybe it can like the hoodie can turn into a balaclava now. That I've already seen. That's like a thing. Even Palace did that.
Yeah.
It would be difficult to find the balance of how am I creating clothes that isn't streetwear. I don't mind streetwear. There's bare streetwear stuff that's hard. But like my fans don't wear streetwear.
Okay.
And I don't wear streetwear.
Okay.
And I can only make what I'm gonna wear. So what I'm saying is, if I make a puffer with a belly, it has to appeal for a 50-year-old as much as a 16-year-old. And now the belly would have to be like, maybe it's a cycling jacket. When you're cycling, you know, delivery drivers always wearing it. It's like thinking like that kind of, you know.
I'm very pleased to hear that.
But this is the thing. If I was to put my mind into fashion, I would have to stop making music. Okay. So like if like with Lacoste, it has to be done so strategically, because otherwise nothing's getting done. Like I have to either put 100% of focus on one or the other. Right now, Lacoste is like still manageable, where I can put 100% focus on music. But hypothetically speaking, it would be perfect if like Lacoste turns into a clothing brand in like 15 years rather than in a year.
Yeah.
Because I still want to do music,
It's
dude.
music time now.
I still want to do music.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I feel like I've got the last question for you here, but I don't feel like we've talked about music enough, really, because I know that's your main thing.
Yeah.
We'll maybe have to do that in a different podcast, or get you on something else when they could talk about the tunes, because that's what I love that you do, man. Like, your music is sick, and
thank you, bro.
There's so much of it as well. Like, I've always respected artists that don't sit on the stuff forever, you know, just do it, put it out, onto the next thing, do it, put it out, onto the next thing, like iterate, get it out there. And it's fascinating listening back to the different eras now, and buzzing to see what you've got on next.
Yeah, because you can hear the evolution, can't you?
Yeah. Real.
Yeah.
Last question for you then. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you care about clothes?
So now I care about it 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
8 out of 10. If it was 10, I would be like, I'd be waking up still thinking about what I want to buy. But the fact that I'm still forgetting the things I want to buy, it's on an 8. 2 years ago, it was 5. When I was 16, it was 10.
Okay.
But right now it's 8, and it's probably will creep higher. But yeah, like as soon as like I'm not focused on music so much, and then I've got more free time, I'm gonna be like, I'm ready to shop. Yeah, because I've got too
rising.
much clothes at home right now. Like, it's to the point where I'm gonna have to sell things to then have more, and I can't do that, man. I can't sell anything. Like,
hard, isn't it?
I think the old CEO of Prada said, and after he said this is when I went, yep, I'm not selling anything. He was like a billionaire, and like his wife was like, why do you still have all your old things in your garage that are worth nothing or breaking? And he said, I will never sell anything I've owned. And I went, mate, if he's saying that and he made Prada, like, I'm never selling it. An Italian with style and taste, you got to listen to them. Don't sell anything. Don't get rid of anything. Do you know what I mean? You got to listen.
My house is too full. I need to
Yeah,
downsize.
same.
Thanks a million for doing it, mate. Appreciate your time. Big up on what you're doing. Nice one.
Yeah, no worries, bro.
Thank you, man.
No worries, bro. No worries.
Jimothy Lacoste, everybody. Legendary dude. Go and listen to his tunes on Coppercap at lique.com. That is LIGQE.com. You too can live an exciting life like Jimothy. Big thanks to all the legends that helped out on these London recordings. Cara, Noah, Mudge, Agnes, could not have done it without you. You know where we're at on the socials. It is at My Own Garms everywhere. We've got a Patreon too if you want to help support the show financially. At the moment, we've got absolutely 0 supporters on there. So if you head over, you could be our very, very first donator. Imagine that. Big up Native for the recording gaffs. Big up the mates Aston for the microphones. Big up you lot for listening. And we'll be back next week with another Boss episode. See you then.
My mind is breaking. Strangers, oh, I get so much by strangers.